Ding. Na, 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 na. This job meets more non my criteria. If you're put a seat on a lucky ship, don't ask what's it. Just get on. About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took their advice to heart. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, then women attribute it to other external factors. Oh boy, it matters a lot because no one gets to the corner of his by sitting on the side, not at the table. But it's not that simple. And everyone's nodding because we all know this to be true. We not we might not remember us, but we met in the 90s. Extra choice space was just a simpler way. The future was bright. You grew up, so did we. The future was bright. You grew up, so did we. Extra choice storage space was just a simpler way. You might not remember us, but we met in the 90s. And if anyone's nothing, because we all know this to be true. But it's not that simple. Boy, it matters a lot because no one gets to the corner office by sitting on the side, not at the table. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. Eh, About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took their advice to heart. If you are offered a if you are offered a seat on a local ship, don't ask what seat. Just get on. This job meets none of my criteria. Hmm. Ah, hmm. 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 This job meets none of my criteria. If you offer a seat on the local ship, don't ask what seat. Just get on. About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took their advice to heart. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. Boy, it matters a lot of that because no one gets to the corner of his by sitting on the side, not at the table. But it's not this simple. Hmm. And everyone's nodding because we all know this to be true. You might not remember us, but we were in the 90s. Extra storage space was just a different way. The future was bright. You grew up, so did we. The future was bright. You grew up, so did we. Extra storage space was just a triple away. You might not remember us, but we were in the 90s. And everyone's nodding, because we all know this to be true. It's not this simple. Boy, it matters a lot of not because no one gets to the corner office by sitting on the side, not at the table. Yeah. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took the advice to heart. If you're for a seat on a local ship, don't ask what's it. Just get on. This job meets none of my criteria. This job meets none of my criteria. If you put a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what's it. Just get on. About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took their advice to heart. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. Boy, it matters a lot because no one gets to go a corner office by sitting on the side, not at the table. But it's not simple. and no one, and everyone's nodding because we all know this to be true. You might not remember us, but we met in the night. As a choice space was just a step away. The future was bright. You grew up, so did we. Ugh. Uh, the future was bright. You grew up, so did we. It's just choice, don't tip the way. It just tip away. You might not be, you might not remember, but we met in the 90s, and everyone's nodding because we all knew. So this is T2, but it's not very simple. Oh, it's just matter because no one no one gets a corner of his computer by side, not a table. And it was and most importantly, men uh men attribute tribute them tribute to themselves, and women attribute it to expected other expected huh? To, um check. And most importantly, 아니라 about 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took that advice to my heart. If you get a if you offer to get on a rocket ship, don't ask what ship, just get on. This stuff meet none of my criteria. Holy shit! Shit! Holy shit! Oh! And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to it themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves, and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute to other external factors. And most importantly, uh, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute to attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute to other external factors. And most importantly, um, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute it to other external factors. And most importantly, men attribute their success to themselves and women attribute to other external factors. This stuff meets none of my criteria. If you upon a rocket seat on rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on. About 6.5 years later, when I was leaving Google, I took the advice to my heart. And most importantly, men attribute to to themselves and women attribute it to others as, as external factors. Boys, it's, it's really, it was it really matters because no one gets a corner office by side not a table. But but it doesn't it's not really simple. It's not really that simple. And you know and everyone's nodding because we all know that it's to be true. It's to be true. You 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 might not remember, but we met in the 90s. Extra chores just zip further away. The future was bright, you grew up, and so did we. Da, 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 da. Hmm. When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't take it personally. No offense. Don't take it personally. No offense. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? Don't get me wrong. No offense. Don't take it personally. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. I didn't mean it. Ugh, I didn't. I take. I take it personally. Don't take it personally. No offense. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time you worked it incredibly hard? When was the last time you worked it incredibly hard? 2015? Don't get me wrong. Take it person. Don't take it personally. No offense. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. I didn't mean it. Don't take it personally. No offense. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? Don't get me wrong. Don't take it personally. No offense. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Chinese proverb. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. I didn't mean it. Don't take it personally. Hey, no offense. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? When was the last time you worked by incredibly hard? Don't get me wrong. Don't take it personally. No offense. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Hey, I didn't mean it. Don't take it personally. No offense. Don't get me wrong. Oh, when was the last time you worked incredibly hard? When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? Don't get me wrong. Don't take it personally. No offense. I didn't mean it. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. I didn't mean it. Don't take it personally. No offense. Don't get me wrong. When was the last time you worked incredibly hard? 2015. 좋아요와 구독을 많이 눌러주세요.